nativity and Mary and Joseph and the angel that comes to Mary and says, guess what? Guess what? Those of you that are Christian know what the guess what's all about. Guess what? You're going to bear this baby. This virgin birth thing's going to happen. You know, even though you're betrothed to poor Joseph here, and he's not going to have anything to do with this except to help get you where you need to be. We're going to be, you're going to carry the, you know, the Christ child. This idea, and she's going, what? And I kind of look at that as a metaphorical idea for all of us. Stuff happens in our lives, and we're given this commission to carry forth this idea, this hope that it turns out okay. Yeah? You know, I hope it turns out okay. Sure hope so. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. Because hoping that things turn out okay is a whole lot different than experiencing something and knowing that no matter how it turns out, it's okay. That's the difference. That's what we're talking about today when we talk about holy hope. It isn't that we're holding this idea of how it's going to be. I hope it's going to be okay. I hope my bank account holds up. I hope my roast doesn't burn. I hope whatever. It's not that at all. It's that if the roast burns, we figure out how to slice it up and make gravy and serve it over noodles. Yes, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about being with whatever happens. So this morning as I was getting ready to come to service, I noticed somehow, and I don't know how this happened, because we celebrated Thanksgiving at my mom's house. She cooked the turkey, but here's the wishbone that came from that turkey. And it was on my counter in my kitchen. I'm guessing someone sent it home for Janie, the 7-year-old that lives in our house, so that she could break the wishbone. And so here's the invitation. That's why I put this picture of the wishbone up there. You know, when we break the wishbone with somebody, don't we always hope we get the right end? Holy hope lets us be okay whether we get the right end or not. That's what holy hope's about. And I love your song because I choose. I get to take responsibility for how I deal with the end of the wishbone that I get. I get to take responsibility, even though I hope and I'd like to have the good end of life. It doesn't always happen that way. Have you noticed? And so sometimes what happens, especially during this time of year, I think that's why when it starts getting darker earlier and the nights are very, very long, I think that's why this emphasis on light, this basic hope and trust that in all of this darkness, eventually the light will return. It will become light. There will be a candle in the darkness. That's what it's all about. And so I think this whole season is a time for us to move out of that sort of dark, cynical place that we sometimes can get into in life in general, and remind us to come back to center, to find that light place within all of that, to inspire ourselves through this holy hope that no matter what, you know, we don't have to be the Grinch. We don't have to be Mr. Scrooge, bah humbug, about life in general. We can make it okay. We can be part of it, because you know what? Whatever is going on around us, the world we see around us, is a total reflection, like Glenda said, of the awareness that we're holding. So if we're bringing in the light of this holy hope, this no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay with it, if we bring that in. Now wait, I need to clarify something. Do we have to like it? No. Does it have to fit our big plan? No. But if we can be okay with it, it makes a huge difference in the way our life shows up. So this capacity to bring light to whatever the experience of our life might be in the moment keeps us, it's the antidote to cynicism. Cynicism is a real toxic way to be in the world, to be cynical. So this hope, with this holy hope, something happens within us. It doesn't, you know, it's not that we hope something happens out there. My sincere hope is that something transforms within me that allows me to be with whatever is going on in a way that is okay with it, that accepts it, that allows it, that lets it in to be part of my experience. So I noticed as I was getting ready that last Christmas Eve, every Christmas Eve, we give a blessing. Everybody gets one. You don't get to choose your blessing. It's very random. And my blessing last year, when I got it, I went, this is great. This is just dandy. This is what I need, right? May you not curse the darkness, but simply light a candle to brighten your way in the world. I'm going, oh, great. I'm going to have a bad year. I'm going to have lots of opportunity to get out the matches and the candle and light a bunch of candles, because apparently my life's going to have some darkness in it. And, you know, that's probably true. Who doesn't have darkness? But this invitation, so when stuff shows up, no matter what it's been this whole year, every morning I see that little blessing and I go, okay, I'm lighting the candle. Whatever's going on today, I'm going to light that candle and I'm going to get through this. I mean, I'm going to bring this quality of holy hope. Not that other kind of quality that just hopes, you know, hopes it's okay. I'm going to bring the quality of holy hope to whatever this thing is that shows up in my life, so that I can make it a blessing, so that I can take whatever that is and turn it into something beautiful and something meaningful. Doesn't always feel good. Doesn't always feel good. Doesn't always look pretty. But I, through my awareness, can have a shift. I can choose where I place my attention. I can choose to be love. I can choose to be peace. I can choose to show up in my own wholeness so that I bring that to whatever's going on. And I look around and see the things we're dealing with. Linda's dreams all about the rocky, turbulent storm, and all my dreams lately, and they always are whenever we're starting to birth something new in community. Guess what my dreams are always about? Babies. And nobody, darn it, nobody can take care of that baby but me. And I keep trying to hand that baby off to somebody else, and nobody will take it, and nobody can take care of the baby as good as I can. And I'm going, I don't want to take care of that baby. I don't want to take care of that baby. Yet I know when I bring holy hope into the picture and I light a candle, I can do this. I can turn this whole experience into something beautiful and strong and successful and possible, and I can make this, you know, through my awareness and through my participation and my choice, I can be a part of making the change in the world that I want to see happen on a bigger scale, right where I stand. So when I see the bigger picture, when I have the capacity to move beyond the burned crust of the pork roast, which happened which is why I'm talking about it, happened last Saturday, and the pork roast was very dry, and it wasn't all that tasty, but with the gravy and the mushrooms and the noodles, it was great. When I can see beyond the burned crust of the experience and transform it through my own awareness, my creativity, my own light, my own consciousness, everything changes. Everything changes. I can bring greater meaning to everything in my life when I have this open-ended optimism about life in general. That's what holy hope is. That no matter how it shows up, I bring this quality of light, this open-ended optimism about life in general. And that's why I invited you this morning during the meditation to repeat silently to yourself, everything is and will be fine, beyond any preconceived idea that I have of what it needs to look like or what I think is best. What I've learned in my life journey is what I think is best isn't always the best for my soul's journey. It isn't always what the divine plan of the universe has in mind. Because I tell you what, if I designed my life, it would look different than it does. Yet I know for my soul's growth, for your soul's growth, for your relationships, for whatever's going on for you, whatever is coming to you is and will be fine. And it's taking you into the glory of your highest, holiest self. Now, we don't always know that. And we don't always feel that when it's happening. I know that. I know that very well. After 66 years on this planet, I've had too many experiences that haven't felt very good, but in retrospect have turned out just fine. Think about your own life. Think about your own life. It's not about being convinced that things are going to turn out the way I want them to turn out, or well, so to speak. It's the certainty that no matter how it turns out, it makes sense somehow. It makes sense in the big picture. And often we have to be pretty far removed from whatever that thing is to see it, to see it. And so our invitation is to open to whatever happens. David, go to the next slide. I picked this slide because it's Christmas time, and there's a story, a Christmas story about the little boy who put a letter into Santa, and what he wanted was, guess what? A pony. And Christmas morning came, and he went running out to the stable, and all he saw in the stable was this enormous pile of manure. And he immediately grabbed a shovel and started digging. And someone came out into the barn and said, what in the world are you digging in that pile of manure for? The manure of life, got any of that going on in your life? And he said, well, with a pile this big, there has got to be a pony under there somewhere. It's that. It's that. It's taking the next indicated step. It's putting in the effort. It's going the next mile, whatever that looks like in your life. It's having that holy hope, and who's to say that he's not right? That pony's not under there somewhere. It is. It just may look a little different than he planned, you see. But that's what we're called to do. We're called to do the works, do the effort, pray, do the footwork, and hold this highest, holiest hope. And I'll tell you something, being able to do that in your life experience will help you keep from getting stuck, from being bogged down, from being paralyzed. Those of you who know the Enneagram, Glenda and I are both 9s on the Enneagram. Our set point, our fail-safe when we're not real healthy, you know what we want to do? We want to run into the bedroom, jump in bed, pull the covers over our head and say, see ya. That's what we want to do when things don't go well. Holy hope is what allows us to go, no, I'm going to keep on. Even though I feel pretty darn stuck and I really want to just go lay down in bed and cover my head and never come out. It's what allows us to continue to open to the isness of the experience, to continue to take the forward movement steps, to continue to feel optimistic, to continue to be receptive and trusting that whatever is showing up is going to be okay, no matter what. And you know what? I love this. One of the authors, I guess it was Lil Bali, because that's who we're working with. But I love this idea that when we have holy hope, everything always shows up as, and they all lived happily ever after. No matter what. It gives us a constant invitation to celebrate the happy endings and the new beginnings of our life. This bright promise, this holy hope, this experience that allows us to have choices about how we see things in our life experience. This bravery that we bring when Mary was told by the angel that she's going to bear this child. This bravery to stick it out and take the next indicated step, get the donkey, go on the trip, whatever. That's what it's about, you see. It's a state of mind. Holy hope, the quality of holy hope is a state of mind. It's an awareness, it's a consciousness, and it's something that we can all cultivate. And that's where, like Linda said, that's where the light is. That's where the candle is when things are dark. We get the choice of lighting the candle or snuffing it out, or just not bothering to look for the matches. We are at choice. We get to see the world around us in exactly as much holy hope and as much light as we choose. We choose. We're all at choice. One of the great gifts of being a human being. Great gifts. Not something that happens out there, but it's something that happens right inside here, in me, in you, in all of us. Everything is and will be fine, beyond anything that I think it needs to look like. And that's the mantra that I'd like you to take with you today. Thank you for listening.